A humble statement, on behalf of the media and the entire athletics establishment. In light of the surprising events at the Stade de France on Tuesday, we wish to make a few minor clarifying amendments to some of the coverage you may have seen over the last 12 months. For example, when we described the Olympic men's 1,500 meters final as a head-to-head showdown between Josh Kerr and Jakob Ingebrigtsen, we should of course have pointed out these two men would end up finishing second and fourth. When we thrust microphones in front of Kerr and Ingebrigtsen and asked them to take pot shots at each other, we in fact misspoke when we actually meant to be asking them both to trash-talk Cole Hocker. When the Olympics website published a story that the competition is between the two fastest runners in the men's 1,500 meters, this should, of course, have come with the caveat that someone else could easily run faster. We apologize for any confusion these understandings may have caused. So, about that rivalry, which until the last 80 meters of this dazzling, breathtaking Olympic final was still basically intact, Kerr of Scotland and Ingebrigtsen of Norway the gravitational center around which this race was revolving, just like everyone had predicted. Ingebrigtsen with the endurance, Kerr with the speed. Ingebrigtsen taking an early lead and slowly trying to ratchet up the pace from afar, Kerr content to stay within touching distance, the field slowly and unevenly stringing out like a poorly made spaghetti. Finally, as they rounded the final bend, we were going to get some answers. Some closure. And of course this has been a long, confected and at times faintly tiresome war of words between two men who were never as far clear of the field as they both liked to imagine. Kerr accuses Ingebrigtsen of being surrounded by yes men. Ingebrigtsen claims he could beat Kerr blindfolded. Kerr claims Ingebrigtsen has no manners. Ingebrigtsen calls Kerr the Brit who never competes. Of course we all lap this stuff up, because on some level we have internalized the idea that athletics is in a parlous state and needs to be sold, to be projected, to be coated in chocolate sprinkles and presented almost as a consumer product. The Kerr-Ingebrigtsen rivalry reliably sold tickets and fattened television audiences. It may even have kept some people in a job. And it turns out this stuff has actual, real-life racing consequences. Consider. Pretty much every time Kerr and Ingebrigtsen have had a microphone thrust in front of them for the last year, there has only really been one main topic of conversation, and both of them have happily gone along for the ride. Every single impulse and stimulus, media, commercial, competitive, has been encouraging them to think of this race as a two-way duel. Kerr was boasting as early as January that he had already visualized how this race would pan out. Well, it's fair to say he didn't visualize this. Because let's rewatch the last 300 meters of the race, knowing what we now know. Hocker is fifth at the start of the final lap. On the back straight he moves past Yared Nugues and Timothy Cheruiyot into third place.